Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zahran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, New York. Well done. Congratulations to Mamdani. Super huge shout out to all of his voters, but a big shout out to the 80% females that voted for him. The women under 30. Congratulations and well done. It's wild. 1 minute you guys are crying about oppression, the next minute you're voting for it. I love it. And I know you guys voted this way because your liberal teachers told you to, and because you think you're going to get something free from it. And you might get a loaf of bread when you're standing in 5 boroughs waiting for your scraps. Oh, I bet y'all women are excited too. Like y'all going out getting in designer Durkas and.
So the communist terrorists ended up winning as expected. Well, President Trump had some stark words for this man. But before we get to that, I want to show you why, because Mamdani directly went on the attack against President Trump immediately in his victory speech. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. We can respond to oligarchy and authoritarianism with the strength it fears, not the appeasement it craves. After all, if anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him. And if there is any way to terrify a despot, it is by dismantling the very conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Does this sound like a unifying speech to you guys? Does this sound like a person who's just razored in and focused on New York? No, he's almost pulling a Letitia James, basically running on Trump's name and focusing heavily on that. Now, that's not the only thing. Letitia pretty much had really nothing else, but, Mamdani has talked about some other things that we'll get to in a moment. But President Trump gave him a warning saying like, hey, you better watch yourself.
I'm so torn because I would like to see the new mayor do well because I love New York. I really love New York. When I left New York for Washington, New York was doing really well, but there were some bad signs. The bad sign was a guy named de Blasio. So the signs of de Blasio, that was the beginning, and it was bad. This one, we're going to, look, for 1,000 years, communism has not worked. Communism, or the concept of communism, has not worked. I tend to doubt it's going to work this time.
Did you see his victory speech?
It's literally never worked. Yeah, I thought it was a very angry speech, certainly angry toward me, and I think he should be very nice to me. I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
And it's absolutely true. Mamdani has to go through many people in his own local government. He has to go through the governor, and he has to go through the president for a lot of different things that he wants. Now, some of those things he doesn't have to work with anyone to do. Now, that doesn't mean for everything, because some of the things that he wants, such as price control groceries, rent controls, all these different things are things that he probably can and will probably do, which is really going to lead to the destruction. And the way this is going to work is they're going to ask for more money from the president, because when they inevitably fail and they're not able to collect enough, they're going to need more funds for support. And inevitably it becomes a system that has to continually be funneled money by some sort of other third party. It has to be funneled money by other taxpayers, because if you get federal funds, that is taxpayer money. If you are siphoning money from the rich, like you keep claiming you're going to do, you're inevitably going to need more and more money because you keep funding more and more stuff. So it's really a never-ending cycle, which inevitably amounts to Robin Hood-style communism. Even MSDNC is skeptical about how the hell this is going to work.
Question affordability in this city, living here is top of everyone's mind. It has gotten obscenely expensive to live here, to do anything here. So you're proposing free grocery stores, free buses, $30 minimum wage, all of which sounds incredible.
Cheaper groceries, not free groceries.
Excuse me, cheaper groceries. But what people want to know is, great, I would love all those things.
Yeah,
how do you pay for it? Who's going to end up footing the bill for those programs?
So I'll answer that question by first explaining some of the endorsements that Andrew Cuomo has received. Elon Musk's endorsement is one of the most expensive endorsements that Andrew Cuomo has ever gotten, because it cost him and the state of New York $959 million in tax breaks that he gave Elon Musk years ago when he was the governor of this state. That's actually more money than it would cost to make every bus free in New York City. So I've said clearly that I believe we should tax the top 1%, an additional 2%, that's New Yorkers making $1 million or more a year, and have the most profitable corporations pay the same tax rate they do at the top tier in New Jersey, what they would actually pay here in New York. These things together would pay for the entirety of our economic agenda and start to Trump-proof our city. Because as you've said, the endorsements that Andrew Cuomo has got, and this morning he started it by going on Fox and Friends, we're talking about Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Stephen Miller. These are the architects in many ways of the crisis of authoritarianism that New Yorkers are facing. And Andrew Cuomo is so unwilling to tax Donald Trump's billionaire donors because he knows those are the same ones whose checks that he's busy cashing trying to get back to City Hall.
Rather than actually answering the question, this guy just focused on Trump. And it's crazy how so many people have TDS that they either don't recognize that this is happening or they just simply don't care. Like, you don't realize that you didn't even get an answer about how the hell this is supposed to work. A lot of the time, the unfortunate truth about this is that what ends up happening is there's really not much that actually ends up happening to the rich in the end. It inevitably just comes down to regular people having to pay, regardless, just how they try and act about the tariffs. Well, the tariffs are a tax on the citizens. Oh, what the hell do you think the rich do when you try to tax them more? They just find ways to pass it off. You know, presuming that we're talking about people that are actually employing people or providing some sort of goods and services, yeah, they're going to find ways to remove benefits from employees. They're going to find ways to increase the cost to consumers. This is something that we know and is consistently proven, unlike with tariffs where it wasn't consistently proven as it relates to taxes. Oh yeah, that absolutely happens. Pretty much universally, you raise the taxes. The people that are under that 1% almost always foot the bill. I never quite understood how people don't understand that if you just bump the minimum wage up to something totally ridiculous, that inevitably the prices just go up. That's exactly what happened in California. And the affordability out there is just outrageous. A lot of places that are Democrat ran have literally the worst affordability in the country. So I don't understand how people just don't understand this math. Do we need to post more TikTok videos or something? Because I'm just confused about what's so hard for these people to understand at this point. I think New York is cooked, to be honest with you guys, and rest assured that this guy is gearing up. Him right alongside AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all this stuff are gearing up for a 2028 presidential run. Mark my words. And unlike AOC, Mamdani actually got a little bit of sauce to him, so he's someone I would consider an actual threat. So you guys better keep your heads on a swivel, because like I told you before, I said it before, I'll say it again. We may have won the battle in 2024, but the war is far from over. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out. Big shout out to my members, 655, Cat 3309, and Noodle. Could not do it without you.
Really a great referendum on third grade running for class president politics. Mamdani is promising like free buses, transgender surgeries for cats, like everything you could possibly want. Like he's really going all the way.
Cats that identify as dogs?
Yeah, exactly. Right.